Hey everybody, good evening. I am Fox 13 News meteorologist Madi Baggett. I am trying to look up this one incident that I just wanted to tell you guys about, but the details aren't coming through. Anyway, how's it going, guys? Let's talk about the next couple of days, which are finally going to be rather active. It's going to be pretty busy out there over the next several. So I see several people on. Thank you so much for jumping on. If there's any questions that you guys have, just let me know and we'll get going. I did want to show you this first. Guys, a plane landed at Legacy Parkway, northbound. That's what that is right now, near Woods Cross. I don't know anything. I'm just a meteorologist who sometimes does traffic. That's crazy. Look, a plane landed on the highway. So Lee Bird wants to know how much snow for Ogden, and we will get to that here in just a little bit. I just got to run through the bases first. Natural History Museum camera, just picking up that cloud cover out there. Now, we're talking mostly cloudy skies for pretty much the rest of the week. We're starting already to see a few of those light showers all throughout southern Utah, just moving towards the LaSalle's. Not much snow as of right now, but it is incredibly warm across the state. We're really not going to pick up snow until Monday into Tuesday. That is where those temperatures are going to dip down, and we're going to be talking some widespread snowfall. So as far as what we currently have going on, temperatures are still sitting in the upper 40s. We are going to see those dip down throughout the week, but today and tomorrow, just incredibly warm. Tomorrow, we're going to be close to the 60s, and that's all because of this plume of moisture that's coming in from the southwest. Already rather breezy out there, 12 miles per hour coming out of Milford, 12 for Ely. It has come down quite a bit for Salt Lake and Provo, but Delta, very gusty. And that's why all of western Utah will be under a wind advisory tonight, dipping down to the low 40s, so still very comfortable. Temperatures upper 50s, low 60s tomorrow, mid to upper 60s for Moab, mid 60s for Bullfrog, 66 for St. George, 56 for Blanding. So just still another really comfortable day. But the first round of this three-part punch, which often comes with these big storm waves, going to be these winds. So let's talk about these winds. So mild into early tomorrow morning, but then they are really going to increase by tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to hang on to those strong gusty winds well throughout the majority of our work week. So it is going to be rather breezy. Here's your wind advisory. That's going to go into effect early tomorrow, stay in effect through Tuesday morning. Winds up to 50 miles per hour. All right, let's get to the winter weather. Here's currently what we have going on. So we have this winter storm watch in effect. That is for Wasatch Back, Uintas. Nothing. Somebody asked, what about the Wasatch Plateau? Nothing really for the Wasatch Plateau at this point, but all throughout southern Utah, where Bryan Head is, and the Chusher Mountains, towards Bryce, Zion, all of that, and then towards the LaSalle's and the Navajos. So just a little bit of rain throughout San Juan tonight into early tomorrow, and that's because of that storm track coming in from the south. Tomorrow morning, your morning commute, fine. Not worried about it. Mostly cloudy. Late morning, early afternoon, those winds are really going to start to rev up from the southwest. That's going to steer our storm track from southwest to northeast. And mainly after about 7, we're going to start off with some light to moderate showers all throughout southern Utah and throughout western Utah as well. So we're talking Juab, Miller, Beaver, Iron, Washington, already starting to put on some snow across the southern mountains. Even more active because it is still going to be rather warm. So localized downpours, thunderstorms, definitely a thing. Could be some thunder snow in there. And then by Monday night into Tuesday, that snow line is going to drop down to about 5,000. So that's going to allow for some snow accumulation. And then we're really going to start to pack on that precip Monday night into Tuesday. So here's midnight, active across the board. We'll see rain. The majority of our precipitation for northern Utah will be rain early on Tuesday. For the drive home, for the drive to work, bit of light rain throughout northern Utah. And then we'll start to pack on some snow all along the Wasatch Back Bear River Range, Uintas in there. And then Tuesday, Southern Mountains, all throughout Kane and Garfield. Here's your Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday evening. Still not too bad for the drive home. And then by Tuesday night, that's where we're going to see, I'm just going to speed up because that was a short range. I'm going to go long range. So the timing is pretty accurate on all of these. We know it's going to happen Monday night. And then all throughout our Tuesday. Here's your Wednesday morning. And then overnight Wednesday, that snow line is going to drop down. I'm so sorry. Yuck. To 3,000. So by early morning Wednesday, we're talking snow for the valleys, definitely for the mountains, all throughout the state. And then that second wave is going to clear on out of here. And then Thursday into Friday, there is another snow chance. But that is a little less sure. So there looks like there's another short wave coming in behind those two main waves. Little less confidence on that. But let's get through Monday through Wednesday first. So here, early look at snow totals. Northern mountains, 1 to 2 feet. Higher amounts towards the Bear River Range, upper Cottonwoods, potentially close to 36 inches. We'll take it. That would give us 2 to 3 inches of snow water equivalent. Love it. Southern mountains, 8 to 18. Towards Bryan Head and the Tushers, we could be picking up, for elevations basically above 8,000, 2 feet plus is a possibility. Maybe 8,000 is a little bit low. Wasatch Back, 8 to 12, including Park City. They're in there. And then the valleys, 1 to 6. So this storm system is pretty interesting because we're going to have that steady flow of moisture and those winds kind of just pushing it to the southwest. Areas like Cedar City valleys around Iron and Washington above 4,000 have the potential of picking up anywhere from about 3 to 6. So that's great news there. And all along the Wasatch Plateau, we're seeing that throughout Carbon, Wasatch, picking up close to a foot, if not more, in there as well. So this does really look as if it could be beneficial across the board as far as what this could bring to us. Here's a look at rain. If this all wants to come as once, as liquid precip, this could be potentially problematic, especially towards Logan, especially towards Cedar City. I think this particular model is getting skewed with what is rain and what is snow. Because if all this is rain, Cedar City, we're going to have issues. Bryce may have issues. I think across the board, it's a little bit high. So Richard, Twilla, that's interesting. It really depends. It really depends on those winds. Could get over 6. I don't think it's going to be that high. I think maybe closer to in between like 2 to 4. But there is the potential for some lake effect, but I'm not exactly confident in that, nor are the models. There's always the potential when dealing with a storm system like this. But yeah, Tooele is going to be in that kind of like 2 to 4 zone. But there is the potential that they could get absolutely slammed. Not with like 10 inches, but a little bit more, maybe closer to 6. So I don't really think lake effect's going to be a big factor, maybe an inch or so, but it's not going to steer like these crazy snow totals. This is historically, traditionally for Salt Lake. This isn't a big event, valley snow-wise. Robert asks, is she sleeping at work? And that's referring to I did 2 doubles this weekend. I did Nate's shift. Nate does it every weekend. I just happened to work 7 days straight with 2 doubles in there. It's fine. I'll get days off next week. I actually won't be here at all next week, which is so ironic because this is like the biggest storm of the season so far, and I just won't be here. I'm going on a road trip. But yeah, so that's really going to depend on winds, how much snow Tooele gets. It's not going to be a huge lake effect event, so. Where is my Sunday? That's weird. Why that's not popping up. Anyway, temperatures over the next couple of days. Here we go. Nick Hayes, how much snow for West Jordan? Are there any more storms after this one? West Jordan, just like most valleys, we're going to be in that 1 to 3 range. Maybe an additional ½ inch on Friday, but from Monday into Thursday, 1 to 3, I would imagine. I know it's low, but it's still going to be warm, guys. It's still going to be warm. Like, look at these temperatures. Mid to upper 30s. That's why, like, our best time for any snow accumulation will be in those overnight hours. And he wants to know if anything is behind that. Yes. So that storm door is open. It does appear as if we're going to get more of these waves coming on in, but temperatures once again appear to be warm. So, I mean, the moisture will be there. It's just a matter of whether it will be rain or snow. So benches, areas above 5,000, you're going to start to see snow as early as late Monday, early Tuesday. So those areas, I mean, the benches really have the opportunity to pick up 3 to 12. It just depends on where you're at. And like there, maybe close to 6. So Nick says we be breaking out the shovels. Yeah, for the first time this season, huh? I guess it really depends on where you're at. I know those numbers are huge, but I mean our area is huge, and just really depends. Just really depends on the storm track and what it wants to do. But all right, everybody, that I have to go and get ready. We have a 9 o'clock show. I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to go home. But I hope you guys have a really great week. I'll be back next week, and I enjoy the snow. Enjoy winter. Finally, it only took 3 months. But you guys be safe and send pictures, send photos. Nate is going to be filling in for me. And of course, Damon and Breck will be respectively in the mornings and the evenings. So stay safe, everybody.